What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Drums and Drams. My name's Cameron, and today we are live for another mystery whiskey blind tasting review. Just a reminder that, again, this is live, so if you're watching the replay, understand that this is not a typical edited video. What we're doing here is kind of what we do in normal videos, where I take a blind sample out of my blind sample pool. This is a box of all 2025 batched products. Pull one of these randomly out, pull out the reveal card as well. That way I can check in about what it is actually at the end of the video. But along the way, before I ever find out what's in my glass, I'm going to nose it, taste it, give you a full review and a score out of 100. You get an unbiased, honest take of whatever I end up pulling out of this box today. And the thumbnail right now, as we're live, is like a mystery whiskey thumbnail. And then at the end of the video, I will change that thumbnail over and change the title of the video to whatever it was that I reviewed today. So it could be anything. There's a whole bunch of samples in here, probably 80 samples or so still to get through by the end of the year. Somehow we're gonna make that happen. And so as you jump in here, guys, I'll keep this intro as short as possible. Hit that like button, drop a comment below, all that kind of stuff. And check out the Patreon, $5 or $10 a month. Get access to barrel picks, all that kind of good stuff. So I think that's everything out of the way. I'll keep up with the live chat just a little bit, but I like to keep these under 15 minutes. And so now let's grab a couple of these. Again, people, in some of these videos, people have been saying, oh, he's cheating, how could, there's some things, in What's That Whiskey episodes about like, oh, he smelled it one time and guessed all these things, or at the end of these videos, like I did Bomberger's PFG, and they're like, oh, you already knew it was that. I promise I didn't. So I'll pull 3 samples. I'll mix these 3 samples up. I haven't even looked down. I'll randomly grab this one, and we'll put the other ones back. The cheating comments are hilarious, though. Keep them coming. A lot of them are actually from people in the Drums and Drams Patreon that are just trolling. So we've got B253217. And a reminder that I can't put on the bottom of the screen, because we're live, what it is I'm pouring like I would normally do in one of these videos if I had time to edit it. But I will show you the reveal card, and I'll turn my head as I show it to you. So I have to find that reveal card first. It's 3217. Having a heck of a time here. So we'll find this right now. And I wish I could cut all this out, but we are live. So happy Saturday, guys. This is a little bit of an odd time for me to do one of these reviews. But again, I'm trying to get through all of these by the end of the year. So this is, this is the best we can do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Content is gonna keep rolling on the channel. So I've got the reveal card now. Took a little long there, 3 minutes to get into it, but that's okay. Color on this whiskey, it's actually slightly darker than average, I would say. So maybe some good age, maybe good proof. Let's find out. Let's go to the nose and see what we get. Whoa. All right. So sometimes these whiskeys and these blinds, I feel like they're far away. They're distant in the glass. It's kind of like you're trying to dig in and see what's going on. This thing is loud and clear. So this is nice. The whiskey has a clear personality on the nose. There's actually quite a bit of like this peanut butter character to it. But it's not off-putting. It's not an off-putting kind of nuttiness in any way. So let me show you guys what's in here. Let me open this reveal card. And the way it should be oriented in here is that if I pull it out this way, I can't see the answer. As I flip it up, I will see it. So let me turn my head and show you guys what I'm taking a look at. Wow. Okay, I mean, this has just wicked amounts of like old oak, old leather. It's very much an antique kind of oak profile on here. And it has that just like very classic Kentucky, it just smells like an old classic Kentucky bourbon. And the thing is, the proof doesn't feel particularly high, but it still has a lot of presence in the glass. And remember, please no spoilers in the live chat right now. I mean, this smells amazing. This smells great. It smells like exactly what I want. So let's go to the palate. We'll come back to the nose. Yeah, so the proof is a little lower. It's a little bit thin on the palate, but if the proof is at a certain point, like if this is anywhere between 95 and 100 proof, that's not that offensive. You know, the fact that it's a little bit thinner on the palate. But the profile itself that this whiskey has, it's so old and so rich. It almost smells a little bit like an old bean product, you know, like that's kind of the, and I don't say that because we're trying to keep track of that stuff, but I say that because that's the way that this comes off on the nose. So if this ends up being a Heaven Hill or even something totally off the wall, in a blind tasting like this, it comes off like a very highly aged bean product. Oh man. This smells, it smells great. It's got a little bit of that note that I love in really old Kentucky bourbons, which is like pecan pie filling, where it's just got that kind of like gooey caramel, you know, slight nuttiness. I already mentioned it kind of had a little peanut butter thing to it. As I smell this more and more, as I've tasted it one time now, it's less peanut butter, it's more that pecan pie filling. Man. It's just like what this whiskey is on the palate, even with it being a lower proof, even with it feeling a little bit relaxed and a little bit thin, it's hitting on every single flavor note that I like. There is some tannin to this in the end. There is kind of like it's like a aged leather tannin. So the tannin certainly is coming from the time spent in the barrel, which feels like an older whiskey here for sure. But it's really that leather note that hangs on in the finish that it feels like it's got that kind of like grippiness on the palate. You guys are killing me in the live chat. It's a mezcal. That's funny. Oh man, if that was true, I would give the channel up right now. We would quit. I'm not gonna guess what this is because people are gonna say, "Oh, you cheated," you know. But I have a weird idea of what this could be, but I'm not gonna say it. All right, let's get back to the review. We got to be serious here. People are gonna watch this replay. All right, here we go. One more sip. Yeah. It's not a really complex whiskey. I'm not getting layers and layers and layers of flavor. I'm just getting so much aged oak that reminds me of like the old Rhetoric bottlings, Rhetoric 20 to 25, old Barter House. It's got that kind of an oak profile. And so I think rating wise on this, I'm gonna be in the 90s. And a lot of it for me is kind of like a selfish rating because I think objectively I wish this whiskey had a little bit more presence, maybe slightly less thin. But I personally love this profile. It's like a Michter's 10 thing. Like Michter's 10 is not a perfect bourbon by any means, but every time I taste Michter's 10, I'm like, I just love this. I could just drink this all day. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 90. Here we go. I have to put it up on the screen. I almost forgot to put it up on the screen. Image file. Here we go. I'm gonna give this a 90. Let's go 90. Nope. There we go. 92. 92 on this. And if I had to guess, it's like this tastes like Knob Creek 21. Which I've already reviewed. So if it's a re-review of that, then I apologize, guys. But it definitely tastes like an old bean product. So let's find out what this is, and we'll do a little debrief before we wrap this up. What do we got here? Oh, okay, it is. It's Knob 21. And listen, oh, he cheated. No, I didn't. You guys saw the entire interaction here. I don't know what I scored this in my first video. I have no idea. But 92 sounds right to me. It could even be, well, I don't know. I think it sounds right. So if anybody knows, drop me a comment what I scored this in the original video. I'm going to have to go back and look after this. I don't know how I'm going to title this video now because I've already reviewed Knob Creek 21, but I'll maybe say like, did Knob Creek 21 hold up in a blind tasting? That's maybe the thing I'll go with. But listen, Knob Creek 21 is $250 SRP. Secondary value is like almost non-existent at this point because the supply has been very, very high. So I think supply has met demand on this. It's not a perfect bourbon in the sense that like, even if 100 proof is close to its cask strength, which I've heard that there are a lot of low proof barrels in here, like sub 100 proof barrels that went into this blend. Even if that's the case, I still think it does lack a little bit of body. However, you don't always need 110, 120, God forbid 140 proof whiskey to keep your attention when you're just trying to have a casual sip at home or something like that. And so I personally reach for this bottle a lot. I used to reach for Knob Creek 18 a lot. And then when the 21 came out, I've already gone through a bottle and a half of the Knob Creek 21. Not all myself, I share it at tastings. Tends to be a crowd favorite wherever I go, whether it's enthusiasts or newbies for those private tastings and stuff. So I can't say enough great stuff about this. A $250 bottle for me at a 92 score with good availability on the market. It's awesome. I think it checks all the boxes. I think it's an even value. I don't love the idea of really paying more than $275 for one of these. Otherwise, I think everything here checks out and it's a really great product. And I think I probably, yeah, okay. It says I gave it a 91 in the last video, 92 here. I think it's pretty consistent across the board with these ratings, especially for this bottle. So let me look at the chat one last time before I bounce out of here. Did not enjoy Knob Creek 18. Absolutely love the 21. I agree. I think the 18, I think the 21 is an upgrade on the 18, by and large. Joke's on you, it's actually NBC pick. I've got that here, man. The collection's NBC pick is great. Also confirmed Cam's going to pick, yeah, we might pick a couple more beams now, huh? If we could pick a 21-year beam, that would be a dream come true. So guys, that's going to do it. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon. I've got to make a thumbnail and figure out how to make this different than my original Knob Creek video now, but this is what happens when you do these blinds. I leave them in the box, and I want to see if my ratings are consistent from tasting to tasting, and today was a good example of that, which is nice. I feel good about it. So cheers. That's going to do it. Have a great Saturday. Might have a video coming out later tonight, just a little quick thing. If not, check back tomorrow. We've got a bunch of content scheduled out on the way for Patreon only, for public. We're going to keep this thing rolling. Cheers. Have a great Saturday, guys.